Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are opening a set of sources that are, well, unlike anything we've tackled before.
That is putting it mildly.
This isn't a history book, it's not a research paper. We've been handed a deep analysis of a single, highly unconventional creative project.
A song and a visual presentation titled The Witching Hour.
And it's being presented to us as far, far more than just music.
That's right. Our mission today is to treat this document not as, song lyrics or poetry, but as a meticulously encrypted communication tool.
Encrypted.
The source material is adamant. This project is embedded with complex narrative, technological, and deep numerical codes.
So it's a form of targeted message exchange.
Between three key high-level figures, yes.
Okay, before we dive into the layers of code, we have to define the players. The source material is extremely specific about who is talking to whom.
We have to get this right, because their relationship is the entire context.
So who are the captain, Benedictus, and Recon 13? What is this conversation?
The sources imply these aren't individuals. Not really, but roles within a highly sensitive organizational structure. The captain is the source of the warning, the creator of the song.
The messenger.
Exactly. And Recon 13 is the intended recipient of the intelligence, probably a high-level analyst or operative of some kind.
And Benedictus, that name, it sounds like a hero figure, someone blessed.
Precisely. And that's the role. Benedictus is the target of the call to action.
A call to action.
The source defines Benedictus as anyone who eventually rebels and does the right thing, even if it gets him branded a traitor by the real traitors.
So the whole message is a warning to these three figures about what?
The central philosophical problem. The illusion of choice.
Wow. Okay, so that sets the stage. We're analyzing a covert communication about existential threats and betrayal.
It's a communication designed to work on multiple levels. If you just listen to the lyrics, you get one story.
But if you analyze the geometry and the math...
you get the actual operating instructions.
Okay. Let's start with section 1 then. The narrative conflict. The sources say the core story here isn't entirely fictional.
Not at all. It's inspired by, and I quote, actual event reporting and computing, or AI.
But it's been modified.
Just enough to appear speculative or, poetic.
This gives it some real weight. And who is it for?
The material is targeted at very specific groups in society. The source names them: gatekeepers, middlemen, and buffers.
People who control the flow of information?
Exactly. It's a message meant to be intercepted or at least understood by people in those specific regulatory roles.
And the source material focuses its critique on one public figure in particular.
A video influencer podcaster.
Yes. And the claim is, this is pretty wild, the claim is that this person is allegedly an AI clone of the real her.
It's a staggering claim to embed in music. The source says this influencer, who runs an AI company, is presenting clear treason in a favorable scientific light.
So it's an attack on the framing of global events, she is reporting.
The treasonous acts as non-solvable human mistakes.
So intentional deception being passed off as just error. This whole thing establishes a kind of information war zone.
It does. And the source mentions two main organizations the influencer discussed, one with 3 board members. And this is where the language gets coded fast.
Right. They allude to mistress stroke UIE.
With the capitalized letters spelling out the clear implication. And then you have that chilling phrase, silicone that can walk.
And that's paired with an allusion to Psalm 23, verse 4, the valley of the shadow of death.
It tells you the stakes are deeply personal, maybe even spiritual, not just technical.
And this is where Benedictus comes back in. This whole idea of rebellion is captured in that one line.
Benedictus, run so you can be.
A message of self-preservation through moral defiance.
But the central argument against the influencer's whole narrative, it comes in the chorus. The captain uses the metaphor of Damocles Sword.
This is the key question of the song.
It is. If these actions are truly just mistakes, like the influencer claims, then why isn't the sword of consequence hanging over the heads of the alleged traitors?
That's the rhetorical dagger, the creator points out. Don't seem to see it over their heads, not above their money-sheeted beds.
Looks to me like they are doing fine.
The implication being, if these were genuine accidents, there'd be consequences. Since there aren't, the acts must be intentional.
And this all concludes with the core lyrical riddle. Do you own yours, and if so, then how?
Leading to the theme of the whole piece.
Your divisiveness from false perception, always circular and irrational.
The captain's point is that we're so consumed by manufactured conflict that we can't see the larger deterministic design being imposed on us.
It's an incredibly dark frame. It forces you to read every single line of this analysis through a different lens.
Not as poetry, but as an indictment.
Exactly.
Okay, but if the message is the medium, we have to look under the hood. How was this complex warning actually built? Let's move into section 2, the technical architecture.
This project is a fascinating hybrid of modern and traditional tools. It's a roadmap of current AI-assisted production.
Which is ironic considering what it's about.
Very ironic.
So let's unpack the toolkit. The sources list a blend of sophisticated AI and, standard digital audio software.
Right. They leverage advanced AI tools like Gemini and Notebook LM.
And what for, specifically?
High-speed analysis and summaries of videos and podcasts. It aligns perfectly with their critique of the video influencer. They use the AI to digest the target's content.
To find the patterns and formulate the response.
And they even use an AI song generator for music reimagination and remixing, using the very tech they're warning against to deliver the warning.
That duality is compelling. But they didn't just rely on AI.
No. They bolted these capabilities onto traditional tools. Audiomass for audio merging, MP3 cutter, Cludio video maker.
And for distribution?
A mix of secure channels like GitLab and public platforms like YouTube and Streamable. It's a complete multi-layered communication package.
And speaking of structure, the poetic metrics are ridiculously rigid.
This is not accidental poetry. This is highly controlled mathematics applied to language. The format is 2 verses, a pre-chorus, a chorus, 3 more verses, and an outro.
And the mathematical control is all about the syllable count, right?
It's all about the syllables. Except for a couple of specific lines, everything, all the verses, the chorus uses exactly 9 syllables per line.
9, that's specific.
This rigidity is key to the code. The pre-chorus is 5 lines, and it starts with a single emphatic syllable, point. It breaks the pattern for just a moment.
And then locks right back in.
Right back to 9 syllables. Then the outro breaks the constraint again, using 10 and 12 syllables, signaling a shift in urgency as the song ends.
This level of control is extraordinary. It tells us every single word was chosen to fit the numerical count. But why 9? Why that number?
Because the constraint is the message. This obsession with the number 9, it sets up the deep code we'll get to in a bit.
But first, the visuals. The captain used them to map out the nature of reality itself.
Of deterministic reality, yes.
Okay, let's dive into the image symbolism. The creator chose 4 specific road images from stock libraries.
Real crossroad, infinity road, Mobius road, and asymptote road. And they are not arbitrary backgrounds. They map the path of choice versus non-choice.
The progression of the imagery is the argument against free will.
Exactly. It starts with the real crossroad, chosen for its low, flat angle. The captain notes that on the ground of a large sphere, like Earth, this angle creates the illusion of a flat cross.
It gives you a false sense of choice, like looking at a map.
And it invites you to mentally unfold the geometry.
Which, when you do, you get the infinity road.
Correct. Which symbolizes the endless paths presented by that initial choice, which then expands into the Mobius road.
The single-sided loop.
Which reinforces that idea of circular, irrational divisiveness from the lyrics. No matter which way you travel on a Mobius strip, you end up back where you started.
The paths only appear different. It's a perfect visual for the illusion of choice.
But the crucial final image is the asymptote road. A source calls it the high road.
And what's the punchline here?
This is the deep philosophical punch. The high road represents what seems like the best, most moral decision. But because the decision is ground-based,
You can't see where it goes.
you can't know if it loops back or ends or just disintegrates. It represents the ultimate witching hour decision. You take the moral high road, Benedictus, but the universe's structure means you still don't know the outcome.
So even morality is constrained by a deterministic design. Okay, we've covered the conflict, the tools, the visuals. Now we have to shift to the hidden codes.
This is where the puzzle pieces really snap together.
This is where it gets incredibly specific about time and destiny.
It does. We start with this central numerical symbolism. Remember, the total syllable count for the entire song is 369.
And the consistent use of 9 syllables per line alludes to a very specific decimal number.
Hyper-precise. 99.99999.
Okay, wait. Let's stop there. 9 syllables per line is rigid, sure, but how do they justify that leap to a hyperspecific decimal value? Isn't that a massive interpretive jump?
It is, and the source knows it. The justification is that this number is a private response, a pre-agreed code.
An internal reference.
Yes. The source says this number references the captain's previous response to Recon 13. It's an internal code meant to confirm authenticity. The 9-syllable count is just the delivery mechanism.
Fascinating. It's a coded handshake. And this number is then the starting point for the main formula.
The formula to calculate a critical moment in time, yes.
What is it?
Okay, so the formula is you take that 99.999 and so on, you divide it by pi.
The universal constant.
Right. And from that, you subtract 2025 divided by 100.
So it's a mix of a universal constant and a very specific year. It feels less like an equation and more like a cryptographic lock.
That's exactly what it is, a cryptographic lock. The captain is combining the deterministic nature of the universe pi with a highly specific current reference point, 2025.
And the final answer, the result of this calculation.
It's approximately 11.58, and that is taken as a direct time reference.
To what? What time is that?
It's a direct link to the classic Iron Maiden song, 2 Minutes to Midnight.
2 minutes to midnight. Wow.
The captain is literally calculating how close they are to a critical deadline.
And the song is called The Witching Hour. It all aligns. The 3, 6, 9 syllable count itself connects to a clock sequence, 3, 6, 9, leading to 12, midnight.
The entire structure is mathematically pointing toward a deadline for Benedictus to act. And it doesn't stop there. The code dives into biology.
Suggesting this is hardwired into our existence.
Right, there's a specific chromosomal reference in the lyrics.
How is that coded?
If you do a letter count on the first 2 lines of verse 3,
Time is never coincidental, and if so, we would not even exist.
both of them are exactly 23 letters long.
23 pairs of chromosomes in humans.
Precisely. Which sets up the chromosomality and I-attuned lyrics that appear later. The captain is saying this crisis isn't random, it's systemic, possibly even genetically constrained.
So destiny isn't just mathematical, it's biological. Okay, last piece of the puzzle. The musical code. The Aeolian mode.
The Aeolian mode, the natural minor scale. It's known for its melancholic, serious sound.
Perfect for a warning about treason.
It is. And the creator claims the composition uses elements of this mode, and they use the numbers again to symbolize it. They take the total syllable count, 369, and subtract the 2 minutes from the Iron Maiden reference.
Which leaves you with 367, and what does that represent?
The captain views 367 as a modified, a flattened crossroad. A numerical representation of the moral path, but one that's been altered, flattened into the minor mode.
And the lyrics contain the words modal and nodal.
It's very modal. Bring it home, mold it, make it nodal. The entire composition, from math to poetry to biology, is engineered to convey this message.
Okay, let's synthesize this. This entire thing, the lyrics, the visuals, the math, is the captain targeting his communication with Benedictus and Recon 13.
Having previously activated the Mobius protocol.
And what is the Mobius protocol?
An activation signal. It means the captain has entered that self-referential loop of the conflict, the Mobius strip, and the time for direct action is over.
He's warning Benedictus not to focus on selecting a path.
Or on justifications, because the gatekeepers are programmed to act as they do. They operate without care for reasoning or morality.
So the ultimate conclusion from all this is that the real conundrum for us is why humanity doesn't recognize this deterministic design of the universe, this illusion of choice.
Exactly. If the universe itself is designed this way, if our choices are predetermined by biology and the math of time, then debating the right versus wrong path becomes secondary. The captain is asking, why are we still debating paths when the reality is a closed loop?
And that brings us back to the incredible precision of it all and the end of the song. This deep dive shows us how close the captain believes the system is to a critical moment.
That 11:58 calculation, the midnight clock sequence.
Right. But consider this final, provocative thought, the ultimate contradiction in the sources. The song itself is a perfectly rigid, calculated structure. 9-syllable lines, a 369 count, a formulaic calculation of 1158.
Absolute mathematical certainty.
Yet the document warns that humans are just left to wonder, what do we do now? So what does that inherent programming, that absolute certainty, say about the captain's final message to Benedictus?
You would see how close you really are to midnight.
If the time is already set, is the choice already gone? And that's the thought we leave you with to mull over.